So I'm Chef Don McMillan, and together we're going to make Chicken Tikka Masala homemade. Chicken Tikka Masala, homemade. Doesn't those words just like roll off your tongue? Doesn't it excite that memory bank, these wonderful flavors that you just have to eat? You know, you say, this is so good. Honestly, it's one of the most popular dishes in Indian restaurants. But we're going to show you how to make it at home. So please, leave a comment. Tell me about your favorite chicken masala dish. We can share some information. Definitely would love you to like us and also to share with your family and friends. And in addition to that, please subscribe because we've got so many recipes to share. So I'm Chef Don McMillan, and together we're going to make Chicken Tikka Masala homemade. Today I'm using boneless, skinless chicken thighs. You can use chicken breast if you wish, and a combination would work just as well. So I cut it up into bite-sized pieces. I figured if you want to look at a measurement, about a 1 inch, that would be fine. Now we're going to season it. So for my seasoning, I'm going to add salt. Let's place some salt right on there. I'm going to add some black pepper. And by the way, you can get the recipe right down below in the ingredients. We have it. Just look down in our description, you will find it. I'm going to add in some ginger. This is ginger that's already been grated. And then cayenne pepper. And I'm going to put about half of this because I'm going to use the other half when we do the frying of the vegetables. Cinnamon and cumin. And about half again into the cumin. Now, what I want to do is to give this a little bit of a stir. Get those ingredients happy in there. Stir them up. I like that song, Stir It Up by Bob Marley, one of my favorite songs. So we're going to stir it up. Okay. I'm going to add some lemon juice. Lemon juice is going to have a very nice acidic flavor, but I'm going to show you how to kick it up another notch. I have here, this is a beautiful Meyer lemon, wonderful flavor, and I have a zester. And what I'm going to do is add some of the zest because the flavor is in the skin right here. So just do this. Look how that works. Just zest, zest, zest. This is going to give your chicken masala a different flavor that your guests and family are going to say, how did you do that? And this is some of the chef's secrets that I love to share with you because I got lots of helpful tips. So stick around to the end of this video where I can share them with you. Look at the zest. Right in there it goes. We've added the lemon juice in there just a minute ago. I'll use the rest of that lemon juice in just a little while. But now, what I'm going to do is to place it right here. See, I have my bag right there. And I put the bag in a bowl. That makes it easier for me to keep it open. Wow, those spices just smell so good. Now remember, whenever you're working with raw chicken, anything that comes in contact with the chicken, your hands, the bowl, you either have to wash it or you have to cook it past 130 degrees to kill any of the salmonella. Okay, here's our yogurt. I like to use Greek yogurt if you can get it. I feel that it has more texture to it, more flavor. But even if you don't get that, you can just use regular plain yogurt, works just as well. Now, Let's move this bowl here and look at the beauty of having these wonderful closing bags. I'm going to push out a lot of the air that helps me in marinating it. The yogurt is going to marinate our chicken very well. Now, because chicken is tender, you do not need to marinate this overnight. An hour tops is about all you need, okay? What I really want to happen is I want the flavors to kind of get pressed inside. The lactic acid that is in the yogurt is going to encourage this. It's also going to give it a smooth, creamy taste when we cook it up. And these are some of the secrets that we love to share on our videos because we have so much. And that's why you need to stick around to the end. And please, of course, we love comments. So if you have any good comments, leave them, share them, and we'll work on that. Now, this goes into the refrigerator for, like I said, no more than an hour. So let's go ahead and do that, and we'll get back to getting the rest of this dish created. Now, the other secrets that I want to share with you regarding making the chicken tikka masala is how to kick up the flavor, how to make those spices sing. Okay, to do that, check this out. First of all, I've got a jalapeno pepper. You could use other hot peppers. Jalapeno, to me, has just the right amount of heat, but there are, serranos and others that you could choose as well. I cut the top off, I don't need that. And then I'm going to cut it right through the center part, right here, cut it in half. And then go through this way. Now I'm going to leave the seeds in there. If you want to make this a little bit milder, okay, you can cut back a little bit on the jalapenos. You can cut back on the seeds. You can also cut back on some of the cayenne. But this is going to be a little bit spicy, but just the right amount, because I don't like over spicy food. I like food that has just the right amount of spice. Okay, now, garlic. Garlic does not take a very long time to cook, maybe about a minute, and then we're going to incorporate it into the sauce. If we fry it for too long, what's going to happen is that the garlic is going to burn, and that is not a good thing. So let's give it a little bit of a chop. You can do this very easily by putting your one hand on top of the knife and just going back and forth like that, not having to worry about cutting any of your digits. All right, jalapeno, garlic, done. Let's do this. I'm going to move it into our little bowl, and I'm going to use some ghee or clarified butter. Clarified butter actually has a higher smoking point. Ghee is clarified butter. And if you want to know how to make ghee, we have a recipe. So check out the rest of our recipes. We've got some really good ones to share with you. Let's go ahead and put our ghee right here into our pot. Turn on the heat. And what we're going to do is to saute the peppers and the garlic. Now, because it's so hot, you're going to get a big whiff of that. So you may not want to stay in directly over it, because you'll have a sneezing fit. We don't want that to happen. So I just want to lightly saute our vegetables in here. I'm going to do this for about a minute, because the next step is equally important. Is we're going to add in our dried spices and cook them for a minute, because by toasting the dried spices, you actually get another level of flavor. Okay. So now we're going to toast the spices. So this is the rest of our cumin and the rest of our cayenne. And let's move those around in the pan. The ghee is going to pick it up. And we'll do this for about a minute. Then I'm going to take out the vegetables and we're going to cook the chicken. And boy, will we create some wonderful aromas here. Turn down the heat, it's getting a little warm. Okay, That's ready. Out it comes. Lots of flavor in there. It's going to go back into our dish in just a minute as soon as I get this out, and then I'll put the chicken in there with a little bit more ghee, and we're going to brown off the chicken. All right, we cooked our spices. Very important when you're doing any type of Asian or Indian type of cooking is to cook your spices, those dried spices, and that will really kick up the flavor a whole lot. We did marinate our chicken with some of these spices as well, so into the pan it goes. I've got some more ghee in there, and let's put that right in there and brown it up. It's going to make a very flavorful sauce. Now, the chicken is sticking to the bottom of the pan. That's great. What's going to happen, the Maillard effect is going to come up, and that Maillard reaction causes the proteins to stick there, and the proteins are going to add more flavor as we're cooking this wonderful dish. We are going to cook it after we brown off the chicken on a little bit of a low heat. We're going to add in some wonderful sauces like tomato sauce and heavy cream. Make a nice thick stew. All right, now let's add those spices back in. Our jalapenos, our garlic, cumin. Oh man, this is heavenly. So as it's stirring around, as it's cooking up and giving it such good flavor, we just want that chicken just to cook just a little bit more, and then we're going to add in some other wonderful ingredients. So marinating the chicken gives it a more of a tenderness and what we're looking for, more smooth, creamy flavor. The yogurt has done the job. That's a nice ingredient to use. The malolactic reaction is also very good. So all of these things that we're doing is creating just a very flavorful dish. These processes have been used for centuries in creating wonderful dishes. They've been handed down from one to the other. And this is something that I want you to do, is just don't cook things by yourself. Get other people involved in it, young people especially. I think we have lost something with our generation gap here because a lot of young people do not know the processes of cooking, and this is something that's very important in life, something that we share, because good cooking is always something that is needed to be shared. In one of my cooking classes, I had a student. We were doing basic cooking, and her mother was a famous Cajun chef. So everybody thought that she was a wonderful cook, and people would come over to her apartment while she was here at college, and they would say, "Oh, we want you to cook some of that wonderful food your mother cooks." And she said, "You know what, when I was growing up as a child, my mother didn't want me to be a cook. So she forbid my brother and I to even come into the kitchen, but she wanted us to be doctors." Well, now, guess what? They're both doctors. So she said that she had to take some cooking classes, and that was one of the things that she came to our cooking school, took these classes, went home, and on her graduation, she did a graduation party that just knocked the socks off of her family because they didn't think she could even boil water. Okay, look at this. Now it's ready. Our chicken is ready. We're going to add in some more wonderful, wonderful ingredients. Tomato sauce. Let's get that in there. This is canned tomato sauce. And usually when you buy canned sauces like that, there will be a little salt in it. So that's why I don't like to overly salt my food. I want to taste it first. It may have just the right amount. So something else that we're going to add to this dish in just a second as soon as I incorporate this tomato sauce, and also because it's an acid, it makes a nice smooth tender creamy flavor. We're going to add some heavy cream. So heavy cream, you may suspect, when it cooks, it actually thickens. It gives it that creamy texture, that beautiful color. So it's going to cook down, and I was saying about 20 minutes this would be perfection. We'll do one more thing just before we serve it, and that is to give it a final flavor test. Okay, so does it need a little more salt or something? As I said earlier, I left the seeds in because I wanted the heat. You could take the seeds out of the jalapeno peppers and it would be much more palatable for those who don't like it too spicy. Okay. Our chicken tikka masala. Oh, I can just smell it. It's divine. Can you just take a look, see how that cream has thickened up this wonderful sauce in here? It enriched the tomatoes that we had in there. Oh, let me get these things scraped off the side. There's too much goodness in here to leave it in the pan, right? All right. Every good chef has to taste their own food, right? So I'm going to give it a little bit of taste. See if that sauce is exactly right. That is delicious. It does need a little salt. And it has a nice little kick in the back of your throat. So let's put a little more salt. Give it another stir. One more ingredient I'm going to include. Turn that off. Cilantro. So we take our cilantro. This is our fresh coriander. And we're just going to roll it. Place it on the cutting board. Go ahead and chop, turn it. Chop, and then we're going to go back and forth. There we are. That's all we need to do. We'll plate up our easy chicken tikka masala. Oh, this will go well with, perhaps you have some rice would go well, even some couscous, some whole grain, or maybe just a flatbread like a chapati or a naan or a puri. Just think about how that will soak up. Oh my goodness, all these wonderful, wonderful, wonderful flavors in there. All right, there it is. Look at that. Isn't that divine? We're going to just take a little bit of fresh cilantro, sprinkle it over the top. This is a recipe that can't be beat. Please let us know in the comments what you feel about chicken tikka masala. Maybe you have some great family recipes to share. Please hit the like button. We'd love to hear from you. And please share with your friends. Oh my goodness, this is just so good. So remember, with our recipes, they're always simple, delicious.